Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. Welcome to the June 12, 2024 meeting of the Fairfield Board of Police Commissioners. Could I please ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I'll ask Commissioner Caffarelli to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, with liberty, and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll go right to item number 2, which is the approval of the draft minutes from our meeting of April 10th, 2024. Do we have any questions, amendments, changes to those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Stone.
Second.
Commissioner Lebo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And motion carries. We'll move on to item number 3, which is the first of 3 traffic surveys. And I will turn the meeting over to Secretary Lebo.
Survey number 1, location, Old Post Road at between Post Road and Library parking entrance. Nature of the request. The library is asking for 3 1-hour, 9 to 8 p.m. library only, and 1 drop-off only, 24/7 parking on the eastern side, northeast of Old Post Road, adjacent to the library between Post Road, Route 1, and the parking lot entrance. The street is currently magnetically striped and has a sign for drop-off only. By whom? Scott Jargama? Yep?
You did it.
Oh, good. I'm like, I don't want to mispronounce it. Recommendation denied. Request due to roadway with restrictions and bicycle route.
Thank you, ma'am. Comments from the administration on this request?
I apologize, I was not present for that particular traffic survey, so I do not understand the reason for the denial. It's not clear to me. I believe that Mr. Jerzenbeck wanted to change the current signage from the limited parking, correct, to a specific parking for library recipients. So I cannot speak on behalf of the police department any further than denial.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Stone?
In response to that, Captain, it's probably one of the easiest denials we've ever done, because the road, it just narrows the road too much. What's lined off now for the parking area is only about, it's about 3/4 of the width of my car if I pull up to the curb. And so by the time you put another lane in, you're over the yellow line to go up the Old Post Road.
I thought, and I could be wrong, that they just wanted to change the current signage, not add another lane for parking.
You know, it's like, if you change the signage and allow the parking, that creates the other lane, because the cars have to get by what's parked there.
Okay.
Lieutenant Paris had absolutely no question about doing it.
Okay.
Did you want to comment?
Sure.
Fairfield Library is a vibrant and active community hub, serving not only Fairfield residents, but also patrons from surrounding municipalities. Our gallery and fantastic cultural events make the library an economic driver for downtown Fairfield. Last year, we saw an impressive 320,000 visits, 77,000 of them participating in our programs, and over 50,000 engaging in research and reference activities, all of these requiring extended stays. Additionally, we circulated over 500,000 library items. These are often shorter transactions. Several years ago, we recognized the need for expanded parking, which failed. Parking continues to be a significant issue, with multiple complaints received actually just in the last week. In the past 6 months, this has yielded numerous incident reports regarding parking, including the occasional fender bender. Part of the challenge lies in the library's diverse user base. Patrons range from those attending story times to high school students studying for finals and professionals utilizing the space as a co-working area. These varied needs contribute to parking challenges. For these reasons, we respectfully requested the implementation of express parking, and we believe this will significantly reduce not only complaints, but improve overall safety. The spots we proposed for conversion were historically on-street parking before we redid the building, and currently function as pickup and drop-off zones. Often there are DPW trucks and staff trucks parked there, and there are also cars parked there to drop off material, which is not necessarily illegal. Converting these spots from drop-off zones to express parking would have minimal impact on lane width. I wish I was there to see the numbers, as there are currently no functional lane in that area. Furthermore, studies show that wider lanes can actually increase the risk on city streets, and this is very much functioning like a city street. The current situation where patrons and staff regularly observe illegal and dangerous use of this area as a turning lane puts pedestrians and cyclists in significant risk. Personally, I have had numerous close calls. I've been your town librarian for about 2 years. I'm out of fingers on my hands for the amount of times I have almost been hit at that intersection, specifically by cars in that drop-off lane using it as a right turn lane. Expanding parking while simultaneously addressing the dangerous misuse of this lane would be a win-win for the community. While we acknowledge your expertise, but as the representative of the largest institution on this intersection, I am deeply committed to ensuring the safety of the residents we serve. We also strive to address patron feedback, and parking remains our most frequent concern. And when we have spoken to our friends and patrons that we know well about parking there, it was actually that group that pointed out that before the renovation, that was a parking area. They were excited about this idea. Implementing express parking will not solve the issue entirely, but it would be a significant step forward. We urge you to reconsider this denial, as it would be greatly appreciated by members of the public and my staff. That is a dangerous intersection that patrons have to cross every day with children in carriages. My staff have to cross every day because many of them park right over here in the green.
Yes, sir.
So I was on a survey, and it is a very, very busy area. But my feeling is if you have cars parked there, you can increase the risk of pedestrians crossing, okay? To have it as a drop-off zone would be much safer than have cars parked there, and then people have to cross between cars. Okay, so that's my point there. Second thing, I understand, I've been at the library, and the parking is horrendous. There's no question about it, but we have to deal with the bicycle and pedestrian committee too, and they're big on bikes and pedestrians, and they would have a fit if we started putting parking there and limited the bike lanes. I mean, you've been there, you know how narrow that road is. It's a very busy intersection, commercial area, and I don't think that's going to solve your parking problem. Whatever reason, you don't have enough parking. I know that. I know you tried to get the zoning to give you another parking lot, and that didn't work, I guess. Take that property, but unfortunately, but I can't see, and I was on the survey, I don't see, like Commissioner Stone explained to you earlier, it's very narrow. If you put cars there, it's going to increase the risk of an accident, or at your own point, pedestrians crossing the road. So that's why I decided to vote to deny the application.
Further comments, questions by board members? Mr. Ambrose.
I'd just like to say that, Scott, we all, as residents of this town, appreciate the library and the value that it brings to the community. But we're also weighed with the decision of public safety and the street issues that we have. So with all due respect, please do not take this as an affront to the library or to yourself. Your presentation was wonderful. But I think we do have to weigh these countervailing issues. And I think we have to do it on our terms, evaluating the safety needs of traffic.
Can I just ask you a question? Was engineer Bill Hurley on the ride along?
He was.
Yes.
Okay, if there's nothing else from the administration or the presenter or the board, the motion before us is to deny the request. So, I'll ask for a vote on the recommendation. All of those in favor of the recommendation to deny the request, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. The recommendation to deny is approved. Okay. B.
Survey number 2, location, Reading Road at between 1261 Reading Road and Post Farms Road. Nature of the request, an effort to increase road safety with pedestrians and bicycles on Reading Road. The requesting the installation of the MUTCD compliant
MUTCD compliant vehicular and traffic warning sign.
vehicular and traffic warning signs, W11-15, to be posted along the length of both NC and SC approaches with minimal areas of refuge for pedestrians and bicycle safety. By whom Captain Hector Solari. Recommendation, install. What?
You're good.
Recommendation, install W1-15 signs in the following locations. Reading Road at 335 Reading Road in both NB and SC directions, which is north and south. Reading Road north of the driveway at 735 Reading Road on the northbound side, and at the same location on the southbound side, Reading Road south of the driveway to 918 Reading Road, and the southbound lane directly across Reading Road between 1268 to 1310 Reading Road, and southbound side of 1261 driveway.
Thank you, ma'am. So that is the recommendation to install those signs at those locations on Barrington Road for the team that went on the survey. Comments, questions from the administration or from board members on traffic survey B? Anything? Okay. All right, so the recommendation for a vote before us is to approve. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. And recommendation C.
Sure. Survey number 3, location, Reed Road at between Post Road and existing no parking here to the corner sign. Nature of the request, the southbound lane of Reed Road at Post Road is posted, no parking here to the corner. Suggest to change sign to no parking here to corner tollway, along with adding has marked designating the no parking area, by whom Lieutenant Michael Harris. Recommendation, install tollway zone sign to bottom of existing no parking here to the corner sign. Install hash marks on the roadway from the no parking here to the corner sign to Post Road. Discuss option to install plastic flexible boards and roadway similar to the boards installed in the city of New Haven. Town engineer Bill Hurley.
Comments, questions from the administration or board members on survey C? Sir?
I know Michael Harris, Officer Harris is not present, but I wonder if, Hector could probably give us an update on this, or let us know why you feel this is important.
Yes, sir. So we've had a number of accidents at that intersection, as you are all aware, two pedestrian strikes within the crosswalk. A lot of times we have vehicles parking right at that corner, whether it be for ride-share app deliveries, parking there just to grab food and leave. And it just creates a traffic hazard, specifically for turning traffic onto Reed Road from Post Road. So Lieutenant Harris is looking to minimize that by making it clear that there's not, in addition to the no parking sign with roadway markings and hash marks, that it's definitely forbidden to park within that area to improve safety. As far as the bollards are concerned with engineering, that is something that has to be explored. We did conduct a road safety assessment class here at the PD in June. And as part of a class project, which Sergeant Com attended, they studied that intersection and the area of the police station and Reef Road. And they were coming up with a number of other improvements or enhancements to the road, to include some of the things that Commissioner Stone and Commissioner Pine and I, we've all spoken about and agreed that we need to improve safety, specifically with pedestrians within that area. This is just one part of that, and we're expecting many more implementations for that.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Stone. It's basically, we're talking about almost like one car length.
Correct.
We're not gonna really impact the businesses.
Sure.
And it's gonna be like one car spot's gonna be.
Yeah, if I could just add to that, like, we did the safety assessment. There are a lot of issues with this part of Reef Road. I mean, I'm sure you're all aware with pedestrians crossing, not in the crosswalk, cars jammed in, cars creating third lane. So there's a lot of things that we're looking at, and we should be getting that report soon. This one specific issue that Lieutenant Harris is looking to address is the vehicle stopping too close to the corner. And I'm sure you're all aware, and this is a DOT issue, which is a separate thing, but making that third lane, right turn lane, cars coming around that corner, then you get cars parked there. The bollards are kind of like, it's a way of looking and testing out a curb bump out without actually going and putting something permanent. So this is temporary. If something hits these bollards, they're flexible, they'll go down and they pop right back up. So it's a temporary way of looking and studying the issue before you go and do something permanent. So that's the emphasis behind it.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate that. It's a difficult intersection. There's a car parked there, you know, and there's one of the many trucks that are going down Reef Road or a fire truck. That's a hard corner to navigate. I mean, you've got about this much room on either side of a fire truck, if you're lucky, and then you got people walking back and forth and traffic coming the other way. It's dicey, so.
And that's the beauty of these bollards, not to interrupt, is that we can study that. So if a fire truck is finding that it's hitting them, it's not going to damage the truck before you go ahead and do something permanent.
Yeah, Bill was telling us about that, you know, there's good and bad to them, right?
Absolutely.
They mess up the snow.
And they're not pretty looking at first either, but again, it's temporary, so it gives you an opportunity.
Yeah, and the other thing, Jeff, what we're talking about, depending on where you place this parking spot here, it kind of affects how people feel like where they should be crossing the street, because technically they shouldn't be crossing right there. There is a crosswalk, you know, not that far down the road, but it seems like it's easier to wiggle through those hedges there and come kind of straight across there. So maybe still knocking that access down.
And we have
could be
sidewalks currently with ramps that go right to.
They go right to the
not to
place you don't want them
crosswalk,
to go.
you don't want them to go.
That's right. Right, yeah. Interesting. Thank you for all your hard work on that. Appreciate that. Anything else from the commission?
Yes, so are we voting on the no parking zones, and the other is experimental, or what are we going to vote on?
Well, the recommendation it does have a couple components to it, to install the sign, to say no parking, tow away, and to consider these other, bollards, excuse me, for consideration down the road as a potential part of the next step in the solution.
Okay.
It's not to install them, it's just to consider them, as I understand it.
I believe you wanted hash marks.
Hash mark, yeah, to kind of mark it off.
And go away.
So,
And
Yeah,
go
go away. Yeah, just kind of making it more and more evident that you can't park there.
correct.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
yeah, just a couple good steps in the right direction.
Yep.
Right.
So I move to accept the recommendation.
Mr. Ambrose? Second, Mr. Stone. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We carry 6-0. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for that. All right, we'll go to item number 4, which is to review the monthly reports for April and May. And just a quick comment in general on the reports. The team is doing a phenomenal job out there. I'm seeing more and more activity. I'm seeing more people pulled over. I see more people paying attention. It's really great to see this, you know, kind of back to normalcy from prior to COVID, when people were expecting to be held accountable for how they drive and how they, you know, stop at stop signs and all those other things. So very much noticed, very much appreciated, and if somebody complains about getting pulled over, The opposite is far worse, so thank you. You guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
I'll serve it.
I just don't want to get full work.
I really am. I have a different car, so please. My car is got a new car, it parks itself and everything, I'm getting used to it. Oh, my God.
No, it's great to see everyone out there. Every day when I come home, I go through the intersection of Stilton and Fairfield Woods. I live right around the corner, and that's a dicey corner, because it's four-way, it stops, there's a curve to it. It's an interesting intersection to navigate, even if you're a good driver, and for the ones that don't know how to do those things, it's dangerous. So people are paying attention, and that's great.
Thank you. Questions?
So,
Mr. Pine and Mr. Snell.
okay, so I just want to bring out, in May, in 2023, you had 217 motor vehicle accidents, and in 2024, you have 171. So I'm thinking that, I could be wrong, I'm thinking that the enforcement is actually reducing accidents. Is that a possible scenario?
Absolutely. That's our goal.
Perfect. Well,
And
congratulations.
if you look at the maps related to traffic stops this month and where we do our enforcement efforts, and then you go down to the next one, vehicle crashes this month, what we try to do is focus our enforcement efforts on where the crashes are happening. So the ultimate goal is safety.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
So if you overlay those two maps, you'll see that our activity is where the crash is.
Absolutely. Mr. Stone?
I just wanted to ask, have you noticed any changes in the traffic patterns, traffic flow? For example, one morning, I was on North Benson Road, and I was stopped at the traffic light at Stilson and North Benson. The cars coming down from Black Rock Turnpike, there had to be 9 or 10 of them in a row. They all went to the right and went down North Benson Road, down the steep hill, to get down to Sam Morton, or Brookside. Just seemed like an awful lot of traffic down that narrow little street. And I don't know, is this a common occurrence, or maybe just one day I happened to hit it because of an accident or whatever?
Having worked road jobs on that street, I haven't seen a difference. It's still pretty sparse after North Benson.
Yeah, just curiosity, yeah.
Can I ask a question, do we find we're pulled over, the person several times, or when we come across that, maybe we would know that, like you pull somebody over for speed and then 2 days later you pull the same person over, or going through the stop sign, and just don't learn? Yeah.
I haven't heard, it's not jumping out like you.
Especially when we were doing our distracted driving campaign, we had 1 in 2 days, 3 times, so.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we're taking
She wasn't very
it
good.
seriously, yeah.
We did do we had several complaints on South Benson Road, and we were very active in that area, and what we found is that most of the people that were violating were people that lived there.
Was there, right, yeah?
Yeah.
That's always the case.
It's always the story, right? I know. Anything else, Ron?
That's it right now.
Other commission members on the reports, any questions, comments?
Yeah, you guys did a great job with the stop sign arrest this month. 254 versus 21 last year.
Hey.
So, great.
Definitely one of the biggest complaints we get, so we focus.
People, I think, are kind of catching on that they're going to get ticketed if they don't stop.
I hope so, although we did get an email today saying pull up the dogs. So we hope to find something else.
Great.
I think in addition to a fine, they ought to go to reading school and learn how to spell stop.
Like,
Yeah, there's some of
What
that.
it means, right?
I know.
I know Mill Plain Road, I was talking to Captain about it, and he's doing a great job over here. I received a few complaints about people speeding, and especially with construction going on.
Kevin, I have one other question. I was looking at the report that said, one of the lines was intimidation on the reports over here. What does that mean exactly? There was 7 cases of intimidation, whatever. Oh.
From 2024.
Must have read it wrong, which I could do.
It's intimidation based on bias and bigotry, which is a criminal charge.
Oh,
So that doesn't have to do anything with traffic.
no, I know, but I just was curious. Okay.
I'm assuming impersonation is a possibility.
Yes, that's the case, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a question about, the incidence of shoplifting. I mean, obviously, in many communities, it's outrageous, but I know we've had issues with Home Depot and larger stores. I mean, has that seemed to temper down and, no?
Nope.
But, I mean, there weren't that many arrests for shoplifting.
What page are you looking at?
Making
Yeah,
the offensive for May.
For May?
so May 2024.
Well, there was, 18, we should see,
Yeah.
18 this month. 18 that month.
So, I'm showing 37, if you look at page, the thing that says call for service statistics, May, which is essentially like page 3. And on the right-hand side, it says investigations, burglaries, larcenies, and vehicle theft. I'm showing shoplifter 37 for 2024, as opposed to 27 in 2023 and 41.
Yep. Okay.
So 37, I would say we're averaging, in most cases, at minimum 1 a day, if not more.
Wow.
Yeah, it's easily, it's Aldi's, Stop and Shop, Home Depot,
Marshalls?
not as often.
No.
Yeah, not as often.
And they don't staff at loss prevention.
Yeah, so if they have loss prevention officers, we'll get the call. But otherwise, it's just clerks ringing up so we're not gonna get the
So
call.
you're not getting the call. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's not happening.
That doesn't mean that it's not happening. Some accept the losses, but like Home Depot has active loss prevention,
Yeah.
and they call us all the time.
So these are,
TJ Maxx is not allowed to call us.
Really?
They are not allowed. We've had, customers that call us. Now, we try to talk to them and they won't even talk to us.
so
Like company policy?
It's a company policy, and then they will investigate it after the fact for the loss prevention, which is frustrating us because we have the suspect there, but we have to investigate it after.
these are incidents, not arrests, right? These are incidents called for service, not arrests, right?
That's correct.
So how would you, quantify the arrest versus, like a closed by arrest type of thing?
If we show up for shoplifting,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're getting arrested. I'll even higher than that. And sometimes it's on a misdemeanor summons if it's a minor event, or, juvenile summons if it's
Right.
juvenile.
Mhm.
Most cases, it's, they're going.
Good.
How about the situation with it in Fairfield where they try to break in with BMWs and then they remove the screens from the windows? Okay, the Southport, I think. Somewhere. Somebody had called me about that.
Not jumping out at me. I'll look into it.
No, they said it was reported in the patch.
Report it to the patch?
In Southport on the Post Road by the Southport Iron.
Oh, I don't know. They said there was 3 attempts at the street, and I don't remember what they said, but it sounds familiar. I don't know if I have it in my phone.
Did the patch send out police officers? I'm joking.
Right. No, that, they read it. This was a few weeks ago. They had attempt to steal the BMW, and then they couldn't get it because it was locked, and they removed the screens from the windows, but the windows were locked. You don't know? Look it up.
Sure, it was fair, man.
How? I think my phone's in my car though. I have the car from.
Look it up, chief.
I know.
Okay.
I'll pick up for you, May
Okay.
15th, 2024.
Stories are not fair.
When
No,
was
yeah,
it, May
yeah,
15th?
right.
Yeah, it was actually in Norwalk.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, they were trying to steal.
Well, no, I didn't know, the lady called me, I was looking for it, I didn't see it, you know? I totally called Cindy.
So, just in general, since we didn't meet last month in May, how did the end of the school year end, April, May-ish, down towards the beach? It seems pretty quiet in the news. Any big news or things that we need to?
Clam Jam for the first time, was held at Jennings Beach. I think there was an expectation that there was gonna be, more impact than was expected, so I think the residents in that area were kind of concerned, and there was very little impact. Yeah, it was very well attended, I think 1,800 students, tickets sold and attended, and, it was a beautiful day. Yep. They had other events that happened at Fairfield University after, and I think, let's say Jennings versus Penfield, it used to be held at Penfield. Because of the construction, they didn't do it this year. When it was at Penfield, a lot of times the students would then either walk along the beach or along Fairfield Beach Road to get back to their residence on Lantern Point or down Fairfield Beach Road, whereas now they're at Jennings Beach, it's a longer distance. They opted to take the bus maybe back to Fairfield University where they had other events that were going on. So just a different dynamic, which created a better environment for them.
I was down there, actually, it was perfect. I mean, everything was contained.
You went down to Jennings?
Yeah, it was, I actually walked through that place. And, it was a lot of room, a lot of nice food trucks, everything was set, beautiful. And I think the kids liked it too, you know, much better than Penfield. Are they gonna keep it at Jennings? Or you don't know?
I think they are applying through the Parks and Rec Commission to have it at Jennings next year.
It was much better. There were no drunken kids running around into the street.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, they weren't stumbling to the stage,
No,
right?
none of that.
It kind of removed that a little bit as well.
It did, just because of the proximity.
And they had everything set up on the beach, which was really nice. And I asked a couple of the guys, you know, the Fairfield policemen were down there, and they said, it's been a piece of cake, we haven't had any problems at all. Which is kind of nice to hear.
Excellent. Good. That's a job well done, thank you.
Yeah, really well.
Anything else on, the reports for April or May from the commission or the administration? Anything else you want to point to us?
No, I think just the amount of traffic stops that the officers are out there doing is really notable, and, you did that already, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, very good.
Appreciate that very much.
No, it's terrific.
Okay, we'll move on to item 5, which is new business. We have 3 bullet points. The first one is to approve the receipt of donations in the amount of $300 to the animal shelter. So,
I make a motion to approve to accept the donation.
Mr. Ambrose, Mr. Stone, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, that carries. Okay, approval of the proposed outside job rates.
Yeah, just, you guys were all provided a copy of the backups for that. We have an expectation that the officers are, according to the contractual obligation, they're gonna get an increase in their pay raise, which often causes an increase in, the cost for an officer on an outside job. And what we're looking to do is just increase that rate commensurate with the pay raises that the officers will get. We normally don't do it every year. And we're seeing a little bit of discrepancy in the relationship to amount of jobs worked versus amount of hours going out, and basically looking to increase that by a 5.5%.
It's 5.5%. It's the 2.75% for each year of the contractual rate, like raises, and July 1 being the second of the 2.75%, and the request is for approval of the 5.5% ODM increases, or outside job increases.
We still have a firm or a company that does all of the outside job management, if you will, and that has been very successful, and we're just trying to keep it up with the officers' pay scales.
Scheduling okay? Do you have enough folks to do the jobs for the most part?
It's challenging at times, but yeah, I mean, you know, it ebbs and flows. You know, when there's a lot of jobs, we have trouble. When there's things going on the weekends, we're forcing officers to work. Sometimes the jobs, you know, we have issues filling the jobs, and then vice versa.
Right.
When officers take a lot of jobs, sometimes we have trouble filling the jobs.
You know, it's Newtown officers come to town, right? Newtown?
No.
I thought it was our Newtown guy.
No, sir. You know, you'll see Easton officers here.
Oh, Easton, I'm sorry, it was
Yeah.
Easton officer, I guess.
Excellent.
So he was working in Fairfield.
He lives on Ground Hill Road.
No, we actually, Easton officers can take jobs in Fairfield when we've depleted our resources here.
So,
And it's mutually agreeable that we do their jobs too. And then when that was first initiated, Easton just didn't have the officers for the amount of jobs that they had. So we made an agreement with them, and every once in a while, we have an officer at Easton, and every once in a while, we have an Easton
the
officer.
second officer is regular police officers, special, and then Easton officers, right? Okay.
Correct.
Or flag.
I saw an Eastern patrol car in the Old Post Road, this past weekend, same. So that's obviously why we're there. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
No, just certified.
Absolutely. Okay, anything else on that?
Want to add anything?
We should take a vote on this to approve that 2-year 5.5% increase for the outside jobs.
If I could
I
just
will
put,
make that motion, yes.
before you make the motion, I just want to add that, we submitted this to finance so that they did an evaluation on it, and they thought it was appropriate.
I thought it was appropriate, yeah, okay. All right, so I will make the motion for the 5.5 2-year percent increase. If I take a second. Mr. Pine, discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, carries 6-0. Thank you. And a personnel update. Chief.
Yep. So Navin Nair, the Wilton officer, is on the road right now. He was the lateral officer that we took from Wilton. He's been doing a great job. He started May 13th. He's on FTO right now. We had Michael Toth, who graduated on April 7th from the Police Academy. He was awarded the Luciano Award, which is the highest, basically #1 in your class, the valedictorian, if you want to call it that.
Doesn't surprise me.
No. So he is still on FTO as we speak, so we have 2 officers out in the field on FTO riding along right now. As you remember, you all did hiring process. Clayton Corkins, Jordan Irizarry, and Will Todd were the next officers after Navin Nair. They are expected to go to the academy on July 12th. So they're going to be leaving in about a month to go to the police academy. And just a kind of sidebar with that, we only had two spots for July. Officer Callison has submitted his retirement paperwork, and he's going to be leaving on July 17th. So we gave a call up to post. They had an extra seat. They gave us the extra seat. So instead of putting this Will Todd in October and putting us behind the 8 ball by 3 months, we're able to get him a 3rd seat in July. So he's getting started 3 months early.
That's good.
We're rushing his background, but if you remember, he was the state police candidate that dropped out because of the knee injury.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now he's fully recovered and ready to go. So he had the background done by the state police already. We're just redoing that. So, as I said just a minute ago, Officer Callison will be retiring July 17th. He submitted his paperwork, and he served 30 years, his full 30 years as an officer here. So we're going to have something for him. I'll make sure that everyone gets invited if they want to attend.
Now they're going to the Academy of Meridian?
I'm sorry?
Meredith, that's the police academy going to Meredith?
The 3 officers will be going to the Meriden Police Academy, that's correct, starting July 12th. And for the record, we are at number 4 on the list, so the number 5th person will likely get. We have one of our officers who is, I'd say it's about a 4 or 5 year officer who is expected to be departing to move out of state. And he's taking a job with likely either Phoenix, Arizona, or Nashville, Tennessee. Hasn't decided yet. Wants to leave New England, wants to get out of the state of Connecticut, and it's one of our finest. So it's really disappointing, but he's kind of made the decision that I'm going to leave Fairfield completely and go somewhere else.
Oh,
I've made every effort to try to.
Persuade him otherwise?
I can't say who the name was?
Joe Harry.
Oh, you're kidding me, really?
Yeah.
Joe what?
Joe Harry.
His father was a prosecutor or something?
That's right. Father's a prosecutor, sister's a Bridgeport officer.
The sister works for me. She's tremendous,
Tremendous.
tremendous girl. I mean,
Great family.
wonderful.
Yep.
I can't believe it. Too bad.
So, he still works here,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing, and, but he is applying to other agencies, and they are requesting his background information and personnel files, so we are expecting that he's gonna leave likely by like October.
And you guys.
Not a bad reference.
I already.
She's tried to.
I've talked to him, I've talked to both CDs so far.
So it's expected that we will likely get to, Zach Berry, I think he's next, right?
Yep, Zach Berry, but he's not going on until December,
December,
and then
that's right,
it'll have
that's
to
right.
be
So Andrew Lapis
by that
or
time.
Zach Berry for that time frame.
Can you go into the academy prior to being 21, or do you have to wait, till
Required.
21 for that as well? All right. So big picture, when we did our list, I forget, what did we end up with, 10 names on the list?
Correct. Yep.
So we're down to like 7, 8 now, or we're up to 7?
We are up to number 5.
Number 5, okay.
Yeah, and everyone has successfully completed,
Got it.
up to where we are, everyone has successfully completed the background investigation and polygraph and physical agility and medical.
Have any of the second 5 dropped off the list?
Yes.
They have, so.
We've had 3, 1 under investigation, not under investigation, but his background investigation is being done, and 2 others have already accepted employment with other agencies.
So that takes our 10 down to 7
7.
candidates, of which we were committed to 5.
That's
So we
correct.
got a couple left, active and hot on the list.
That's exactly right.
Okay, I got it.
This thing's a moving target.
I know. And then you have the retirement, right? You have to consider that as well, right?
Yeah, so we have that is in my consideration.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, I've been given permission to hire, even though they're starting on the 12th, and Joe isn't officially retiring to the 17th, because the academy is starting just a couple of days early, been given permission to hire him and put him in the academy a week, 5 days earlier than Joe's retirement.
So we'll be looking at a new list for the fall, I'm gonna guess, right? I would think.
I'm hoping nobody else leaves.
Well, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any other retirements out there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll be good for another year.
Excellent.
Yeah, before we start on the hiring process.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from the commission on personnel? Okay. If not, thank you very much for the update.
Welcome.
Appreciate the information. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Mr. Vaughn,
adjourn.
Mr. Lebo, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good.